easy from Eddie Hernandez. Hey everybody, welcome to GAW Dark. This Wednesday in Atlanta, we are less than 2 weeks away from Bash at the Beach, the first ever event that will feature Storm and Storm Chaser matches on the same card. It will be a 2-week special event, and we are so looking forward to it. And tonight, we open with the face of the GAW Academy, Eddie Hernandez, the man who has been pulled back into action, as he will feature in our 6-man tag next week on Storm Chaser. So Hernandez, he just needs to get himself in some shape here after a few weeks off following Storm Chaser Sydney. This is quite a match to try to regain some fitness here. Mexican Shia, we've seen him in singles matches over the last couple of weeks, and he is always dangerous. Most recently, we saw him go up against Dagonite. Now, Dagonite did win that match, but Shia, of course, proved that he is able to deal with a man of this that has Dagonite's size. And so for Eddie Hernandez to come in, giving up a whole lot of height and weight to Mexican Shia, Shia can easily make this return for Hernandez one to forget. But we will have to see. We got a full match card tonight. This is just the opener. Let's see how Eddie Hernandez looks after a few weeks off. Now, we saw Yunsan Park last week commenting on Yamamoto, as Yunsan Park is, of course, one of the head trainers here in the GAW Academy. But we haven't seen Eddie Hernandez since Storm Chaser Sydney. Of course, he fell just short in his match against Yunsan Park one last time in the main event of that show. And of course, he's taking it well, as we expected him to. But, you know, there's not a lot that prepares you for the physicality of that match. And so Hernandez has taken a few weeks off to recover, as has Yunsan Park. But both men will be back in that 6-man tag to open Storm Chaser coming up next Monday. They will team with Garrett Gibson to take on Lancelot and 2 partners of Lancelot's choosing. So this for Eddie Hernandez, just trying to get himself back on track. Discus knee sidestepped by Shia, but Hernandez keeps on the pace. Hernandez picked up 1 fall in that match against Yunsan Park. And now Hernandez, look at this, Mexican surfboard from Shia, but you can see that Shia, the height that he has, his feet are touching the ground as Hernandez wrenches the neck back in this surfboard, and in the end, Shia is able to propel himself off the ground. And Shia now with a code red on Hernandez. And you can see Hernandez for just 1 more second using that core strength to keep his feet in the ropes, make sure that Shia could not lock in a cover. That is very well done from Eddie Hernandez. Hernandez off the ground with a snapmare driver. Beautiful. And a cover here from Hernandez. Look at this. Hernandez didn't hook the leg, just doing a push-up right on the chest of the much larger Mexican Shia. Now Hernandez to the top rope. Hernandez looking, Mexican Shia up to his feet, but Hernandez too quick for him. Diving crossbody. And Shia was trying to catch him off guard, as surely Hernandez was trying to set up the speakeasy. And Hernandez now goes for it. Knees up from Shia. 2 very smart moves from Mexican Shia. Meet the boss. But Eddie Hernandez goes through, trying to climb up to the top, but Mexican Shia drops him with a knee. Hernandez saw Meet the Boss coming, and he tried to get himself up to the top rope to take advantage, but Mexican Shia just too quick for him. We know how good Eddie Hernandez is. We know how smart he is. but still you can see trying to shake off a little bit of rust from that match in Sydney. Now Yun-Sun Park, he'll have to do the same. Of course, he ended up winning that match, but he had to deal with the physicality as much as Eddie Hernandez. Mexican Shia coming in. Big knee strike into the corner. And we'll see how both men look when they team up with Garrett Gibson. Oh, what a running knee strike from Eddie Hernandez. He is so quick. That first step, so powerful. And now Hernandez once again drives him in. Snapmare driver, and Hernandez pushing right down on the chest of Shia, and Mexican Shia forces his way out. Very, very well done, and Hernandez to the top. Hernandez has Shia in his sight, speakeasy, and again the knees were up from Shia. You wonder if it's too telegraphed, that speakeasy. Everyone knows it's coming. It was the move that Hernandez used to win the Storm Chaser tournament. He won every match in the tournament with it, at least in the knockout portions. Hernandez now to his feet. Shia, meet the boss. Hernandez sidesteps it, drop kick. Shia tosses him aside. Kick, Hernandez rolls out, and now Hernandez backstabber. And a whole lot of velocity on that one as well. Oh my God, running knee strike from Hernandez. Sent Mexican Shia flying, and now Hernandez hooks the far leg, and Eddie Hernandez makes his return and gets the win. What a sequence from Eddie Hernandez. And we got to comment on the fact that that chopper, he went for the speakeasy twice. Mexican Shia got out of the way, or got his knees up rather, both times. And Hernandez, he had the wherewithal to understand that he needed something else to beat the much bigger man, and he showed up when it was needed. The running knee strike from Hernandez absolutely taken through the chest of Mexican Shia. And for Eddie Hernandez, that is a much, much needed win. And again, we will see him and Yun-Sun Park team up with Garrett Gibson to start the show next Monday. So make sure you subscribe so you can see that. Sin Cara has kind of bounced back and forth between GAW and various promotions over in Mexico, so we haven't seen him for a little while because of that. The last time we actually saw Sin Cara, it was right here on GAW Dark. Now, he suffered a loss in that match, but from his perspective, you know, he's got to be thinking that returning to GAW, a little bit of momentum from abroad, he's got to be feeling pretty good about it. Matt Hardy, on the other hand, former Intercontinental Champion, and of course, the first member of the Evil Alpha organization, and he has yet to reach those heights post-Alpha. Now, that's been the case with basically everyone who was part of Alpha at that time, whether it be Hardy, Ricochet, Pac, the Lucha Brothers. You know, just name someone and they haven't reached those heights yet. So for Matt Hardy, any match, we say this all the time on GAW Dark, any match can present the opportunity to get back on track. And will this be the one for Matt Hardy? We'll have to see. It's a big moment for both men as they make returns to a GAW ring. Let's see who can grab the momentum here. I'm curious to see how both men respond. Wow, deafening chants for Matt Hardy from the crowd. There's definitely a lot more respect for Hardy after he left Alpha. Respect for his lineage, his success in professional wrestling, and that is very well deserved. And from Matt Hardy's perspective, I am glad that he now is getting the respect that he does deserve after leaving Alpha. Matt Hardy driving Sin Cara headfirst into those turnbuckles. Say it with me now, that's not an introduction that I want to be a part of. Nobody does. Matt Hardy, 0-1 so far here in GAW. Also, like Sin Cara, his only match has come right here on GAW Dark. Hardy just trying to hoist himself up, but Sin Cara, beautifully done, drives the knees, or rather a foot stomp, right into the chest of Hardy, and it's a kick out. Goes for the kick, Hardy out of the way. Matt Hardy, very, very quick, even for his age. Sin Cara, of course, a tremendous athlete, as we know. Gets Hardy to his feet, and now into the corner goes Matt Hardy. Sin Cara, ooh, beautifully done, and Sin Cara runs in. Double knee strike. He only got a couple steps to line it up, but his first step is so quick. Now we got a cover here from Sin Cara and a kick out. That first step is so quick from Sin Cara, it's impossible to play defense against. But Sin Cara now trying to go in for the kill shot. Matt Hardy avoids it, and now into the corner. Matt Hardy, Irish whip to the other side. Here comes Hardy. Lariat and a bulldog. Classic Matt Hardy. And now firing away some right hands to a grounded Sin Cara. This is much closer to what we know as Matt Hardy, and now boot to the gut. Hardy looking for the twist of fate, and Sin Cara gets out of it, and Sin Cara now retreating to the corner. He's taking the pad off of that top turnbuckle. I don't think the referee saw. I think the referee was watching Matt Hardy, and so for Sin Cara, I think that's more of a security measure if he does need it. Sin Cara locks in. Sin Cara, hammerlock DDT. So he may not need that exposed turnbuckle. Referee down to make the count, leg hooked, and Sin Cara does not need that turnbuckle. Who knows why he did it? Maybe just making Matt Hardy think. Maybe it's just, it was just a security measure. If Matt Hardy had avoided the hammerlock DDT, would Sin Cara have needed that top turnbuckle, that exposed turnbuckle? Well, luckily for Sin Cara, that question doesn't need to be answered, because Sin Cara has picked up his first win of GAW Season 2. And for a man who went only 2-7 last year in Season 1, this is a big win for him. So what could it mean going forward? That's the question that will take, as we know, several weeks and months possibly to answer. Coming up next, the new #1 contender for the Raw Championship over on Storm Chaser. Igris battles the man he eliminated in that four-way dance, Scott Danielson. Now, Scott Danielson was the last man eliminated in that four-way dance back on Storm Chaser just a couple days ago. Remember, you can go onto our website, generaladmissionwrestling.com, and you can see full recaps of all of our shows as they happen. You never have to miss a minute. And Scott Danielson was the last man out. Igris ran absolutely wild in that match. Danielson thought he was so close to being the new #1 contender to Midnight's Raw Championship, and he fell just short of the mark. But now he's got a chance for a little bit of revenge here if he is to beat Igris in this match. Let's see if he's ready.
It's been 6 years since I've had my fix, and now
Igris was so impressive in that four-way dance this past Monday. It's hard to really, I mean, it's hard to, I don't even know how to put it into words how well he did in that four-way dance. I mean, let's think about it, because you're talking about a former Academy champion, Scott Danielson. You're talking about a Storm Chaser tournament quarterfinalist in Stefford Drummond, and you're talking about one of the top rising stars in Ulysses Sky, and Igris eliminated every single one of them. And that is just, I can't even believe that a 20-year-old is able to pull that off in the main event of GAW Academy Storm Chaser. What a performance it was for Igris. These two met a few weeks ago here on Dark. Igris pulled out the win then. Scott Danielson requested the rematch here because he wanted to avenge that final elimination in that four-way dance. Let's see if he can do it as Scott Danielson takes on the Raw Championship #1 contender, Igris. Igris, as we know, a little cocky, but really, how could you not be when you're 20 years old and performing at the level that he is? And here is Igris very, very early on, showing us what we all know. He is a student of the game, one of the smartest wrestlers you will ever see. And there is no joke about that. Now, I've told stories before about trainers that talk about how much Igris is dedicated to his craft, how smart he is, how much time he spends watching film. And I'll give you another anecdote right now as we talk about Igris' preparations for that four-way dance. Look at this, Scott Danielson with a triple Manhattan drop. Wow. So anyway, I want to talk about this story. This I get actually from Yunsan Park. Igris now hooks the leg. Igris for a cover. Danielson kicks out. Yunsan Park, as I've mentioned before, one of the head trainers here in the GAW Academy, works with so much of the talent in Atlanta. And so this is, I was talking to him, and he told me this story about Igris. He said, Park was getting ready to go home for the day on the Saturday before Storm Chasers, so just 2 days before the four-way dance. He said he was getting ready to go home, and Igris had been working out, and so Igris comes in. Igris has Scott Danielson up. Igris, Reaper's Embrace. Oh no, I'm not gonna get to finish my story. Igris with a high stack cover, and Igris, just like that, he picks up the win. Unbelievable. You know what? I'm really excited about the story. I'm gonna tell this story next match as we get into it. Can you say enough about Igris, about the 20-year-old? All he needs is one Reaper's Embrace. Igris grew up idolizing Kenny Omega, everything that Omega did, and he has adopted Omega's one-winged angel, called it the Reaper's Embrace. And are we looking at the next most dangerous move in wrestling? It was the one-winged angel before. Has Igris perfected it like his childhood idol Kenny Omega has? Well, that was quite a win for Igris, and what a statement it is going forward to Midnight. But I want to talk about this story as we watch Lance Woods make his entrance here. Talking about this conversation I had with Yunsan Park. And he said right at the end of the day on Saturday, he's getting ready to leave. Igris had just come in from a workout, and he said he walked up to Yunsan Park, and he said, I want you to come with me to the ring because I want to try something. I want to practice this. Igris knew that Scott Danielson was going to be one of his opponents in that four-way dance, so they go out to one of the training rings, and Igris says, I want you to try a Blade Runner. I want you to try to get me in that position that Scott Danielson, that of course is his finishing maneuver. So Yunsan Park does it, and Igris actually stops him in the middle, and Igris says, no, that's not how he does it. What he does is he puts his left leg forward as he tries to set you up for the move. And Yunsan Park's just sitting here looking at him. Yunsan Park says, I've been training with Scott Danielson for 6 years, and I've never noticed that. And Igris has one match against the guy and notices where he puts his leg to set up the Blade Runner. That is the intelligence of Igris. That is the kind of mind for the sport of professional wrestling that Igris possesses, and that is the man who's going up against Midnight at Bash at the Beach. Now, Midnight is, of course, undefeated here in GAW, 9-0. It's the best record in all of general admission wrestling. But Santanico is not far behind. The European-trained, very, very dangerous underground wrestler Santanico comes in at 4-0. And he has looked almost unbeatable in all of his matches. Most of them have taken place here on Dark as he just tries to kind of get himself acquainted to the GAW style and who he's coming in Now this is going to be his second battle against Lance Woods. Santanico and Woods are actually good friends going back for a number of years as they have performed together on the underground circuit across the world. So this is actually a special favor granted to these two by Jason Parker as they wanted to share the ring on this stage. These two men, Santanico and Lance Woods, they know each other so well, and Woods immediately just out of the ring, trying to stay away, trying to stay clear from the vicious attack coming from Santanico, and he did not do a good job. Santanico comes right back with a backdrop, turns it around, German suplex. Well, so much for Lance Woods trying to avoid the attack of Santanico. It's always such a different dynamic when you get two guys who are friends, two guys who have spent so long together on the underground scene. There's nothing either man can do that the other is going to be surprised by. So it's just a completely different approach you have to take in matches like this. And it's always interesting to watch. I'm still marveling at that story that Yunsan Park told earlier about Igris. You talk about a 20-year-old that has such a knowledge, such an attention to detail. Oh, Lance Woods, that one's right in your living room. I mean, think about what you were doing at 20 years old. I was in college at 20. I was busy getting lost on the way back to my apartment from campus. Meanwhile, Igris is out here winning in main events of Storm Chaser. He's going to challenge for a championship at Bash at the Beach at our special event, one of the biggest ever. I mean, that is what he's doing at 20 years old. Just imagine Lance Woods with an F5 style slam, or verdict style if you're a big New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. Of course, Brock Lesnar, he has shaped the wrestling industry in such a big way, has shaped athletics in such a big way, and a personal favorite of mine. I knew Brock Lesnar as a mixed martial artist before I ever knew him as a professional wrestler, and that is the influence that Brock Lesnar has had on this sport. Both of these men, I think, along with so many in general admission wrestling, have learned a lot from Brock Lesnar. Out of the ring goes Lance Woods, and now here is Santanico. Santanico lining him up. We were talking about Yunsan Park earlier, and Santanico DDT through the ropes. The fans love it, and Santanico briefly breaks the count there. The fans love the callback to Yunsan Park, the move he made famous. And why wouldn't you? Santanico calling Lance Woods to his feet. Santanico, oh my! Incredible athleticism, but Lance Woods just noped him right there. And now, boot to the gut, Lance Woods, double underhooks. Woods lifts him up. What a gut buster. Wow, Lance Woods, I told you earlier, there is nothing that you can do that would surprise either of these men in this match. Kick out from Santanico. That certainly proves to be the case. Santanico thought that slingshot was going to fool Lance Woods, and Woods actually going to go in for another cover, and Lance Woods, he got nothing out of it. Santanico was not having that at all. Just one shoulder up, and now Santanico, what an uppercut. He is European trained. Santanico with the backdrop. And keeps his hands in. German suplex. We just saw him do this on the outside. Now he's going to treat Santanico, or treat Lance Woods rather, in the ring. 3 different kinds of suplexes. And we're just getting a tour of the world of wrestling here by Santanico. He is so balanced in the ring. He is, talk about a cerebral man. That is Santanico to a T. Cover here, Lance Woods. Lance Woods grabbed the rope. Lance Woods grabbed the rope, but the referee didn't see it. After that suplex combination, Lance Woods reached out, grabbed the bottom rope, and the referee did not see it happen. Well, what does that mean for Lance Woods? You know, he feels like that's a rope break. The pin should have stopped. That count should have been stopped. So for Lance Woods, where does he go from here? What does he do? Is he going to file a complaint? I don't know. That official I don't know if he's going to have to answer for that. Santanico remains undefeated, but this is certainly one of the more controversial matches in Santanico's young GAW career. Well, Jay White and Drew McIntyre formed a team a few weeks ago over on Friday Night Storm, and they have actually, they looked awfully good in their first match as a team. They took on British Strong Style on the main event of Friday Night Storm Week 6, and they actually looked tremendous as a team. Of course, they go back, they were together as part of the Blade Runners group, which dominated GAW for a lot of Season 1. They were incredibly dangerous for a lot of that season. And these two struck up some chemistry while together in that group. So now as a team, it certainly seems as though the Usos and the Mighty Don't Kneel are probably on a collision course for Bash at the Beach. But don't forget about Jay White and Drew McIntyre. I think this team is probably here to stay. Now, War Machine. You want to talk about a team that has dominated GAW in the past. That is War Machine. And again, we talked about our website over on generaladmissionwrestling.com. You can see full championship histories of all of our titles dating back all the way to 2005. And if you go there, you will see that War Machine are two-time General Admission Wrestling Tag Team Champions, including one reign of 322 days back in 2018. They won the titles from the Good Brothers back at Tidal Wave 2018 and held them for almost a year until Winterfest of that year, where they lost them to the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, of course, four-time tag team champions. War Machine are incredibly experienced, but Jay White and Drew McIntyre, they've got momentum on their side, and they just have that vicious streak. Jay White, of course, one of the dirtiest players in the... Oh, Hansen! Looking for a handspring back elbow, but Jay White was having none of that. Jay White, probably the dirtiest man in professional wrestling right now, and Drew McIntyre, probably the most vicious. Jay White keeping his jacket on, by the way, for this match. That is disrespectful. War Machine, they've held the tag team titles before, 2 times, as I said, in GAW. So to keep your jacket on in a match like this, well, that's just what we've come to expect from Jay White. And now White hoists up Hansen Kiwi Crusher from Jay White, and a high stack cover as well. So quick, Rowe couldn't catch it. And White and McIntyre. That's it. That's all you get. That is all you get. And War Machine, God, they got to go back to the drawing board, don't they? Rowe was absolutely caught off guard by this. And Jay White with the Kiwi Crusher. White and McIntyre have their second win as a team, and it happened in the blink of an eye. Unbelievable to see this play out. But White and McIntyre have put away one of the most dangerous teams in the history of General Admission Wrestling. Cody Rhodes has been synonymous in GAW, at least in the last 6 months, with being just inches away. A man who has showed so much. He has shown so much fire and so much ability. And on several occasions, he's come just that close. He came that close to winning the GAW Christmas party. He came that close to winning, or rather to beating Kazuchika Okada, and he's just fallen short each time. And obviously, GAW Dark is made for people to start getting that momentum, and for Cody Rhodes, let's see if now is his time. This is Kofi Kingston's first time here at the former home of the WCW Power Plant. Former Intercontinental Champion Kofi Kingston. He is 1-0 so far this year. He beat Ricochet a few weeks ago over on Friday Night Storm. And these two men, they're actually fighting for something here, as we have this tweet from Conor McGregor explaining that these guys, one of them is going to fight for the Intercontinental Championship, and McGregor saying that his goal is to make sure that Bobby Lashley is the most decorated Intercontinental Champion in GAW history. And he will do that by defending his title against one of these men. Lashley is a 3-time Intercontinental Champion, and this is again according to our website over on GeneralAdmissionWrestling.com. Lashley already has 6 defenses. He has equaled Will Ospreay's total from season 1. 7 defenses would be the most since Drew McIntyre back in 2019. The record for successful Intercontinental Championship defenses, by the way, belongs to Walter. Walter held the belt back in 2015 for an astonishing 600 days. Defended it successfully 16 times. Can you imagine that? 16 times Walter defended that title, ultimately falling just short to Mark Andrews in 2017 at Storm Rome. Again, you can see our very long history over on GeneralAdmissionWrestling.com. Nice flatliner from Cody Rhodes. Now, of course, Kofi Kingston has held the Intercontinental Championship before. He beat Adam Cole for it after Nitro 9. And he held it for 89 days, defended it successfully twice, including once against Walter. Lost the title ultimately to Matt Hardy, who we found out had joined the Evil Alpha. We just saw Matt Hardy, of course, in action earlier on against Sin Cara. Now Kofi Kingston, beautiful Falcon Arrow. So both of these guys, they're fighting for the chance to dethrone Bobby Lashley on Friday Night Storm in just a couple days. Lashley's goal is to become the most decorated Intercontinental Champion of all time. Kofi Kingston, trouble in paradise. And Kingston, his goal is to dethrone Lashley, and he might just get there. Kofi Kingston, trouble in paradise, wins it all. Kofi Kingston is heading to Friday Night Storm to battle Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship. Bobby Lashley has already equaled the most Intercontinental reigns of all time. Lashley and Walter both have 3 reigns. And Lashley trying to move into rarefied air, defending his Intercontinental Championship 7 or more times. That has only happened 3 previous times in the history of this championship. And Kofi Kingston looking to make sure it doesn't happen. Our main event coming up next. This is a big opportunity here for Christine Buckley. We saw this young woman pick up her first career win in GAW over Suzuki just a couple weeks ago on Dark St. Paddy's Day. It was a great moment for her. She was congratulated personally by Becky Lynch. We have this tweet here to show you as Becky Lynch congratulating her former student. You can see how much Lynch has influenced Christine Buckley, and now Buckley has a huge opportunity going up against Katherine Sakamoto in this main event. This could be a career night for Christine Buckley. Katherine Sakamoto is the winner of the Storm Chaser tournament. No one can take that away from her, nor should they. But she has felt very disrespected. She has not gotten a shot at Lazara's Academy title since she won the Storm Chaser tournament despite the fact that she holds a singles win over Lazara, and she has felt slighted by that. Meanwhile, Lazara has commented and said that Katherine Sakamoto has dishonored the division and that she would not be a deserving champion because of the way she's acted. Yamamoto involved in all this because Katherine continues to keep Yamamoto, she continues to mention Yamamoto. Yamamoto's name is constantly in Katherine's mouth. Of course, the 19-year-old challenged Lazara for the Academy Championship at Storm Chaser Sydney, came up just short, and reportedly Yamamoto is furious with the way that Katherine Sakamoto has been acting. So all three women have been intertwined over the past few weeks, and now in this main event, it's time for Katherine Sakamoto. It is time for her to show everyone that she really does deserve that shot at Lazara. We have no confirmed plans for Bash at the Beach for Lazara's Academy Championship, but certainly you would think Katherine Sakamoto would have to be a part of it. The Storm Chaser tournament winner. Yamamoto out here. Yamamoto is out here. Yamamoto has made her way out to the ring, and Christine Buckley from behind. Crucifix pin. Katherine Sakamoto in trouble. Christine Buckley has upset Katherine Sakamoto. Yamamoto made it happen. Christine Buckley from behind. And now Yamamoto retreating back up the ring. Katherine Sakamoto can't believe it. Yamamoto jawing with Katherine. Yamamoto knows that she just cost Katherine this match. And Katherine out of the ring. Katherine going to confront Yamamoto face to face. This is a woman who has her eyes on challenging for the title at Bash at the Beach, and Yamamoto may have just cost her spot. Katherine Sakamoto, she fires away with the right. Yamamoto returns fire. We've got more referees out here trying to break these two women up. Katherine Sakamoto, Yamamoto coming back. Right hand shot. We gotta break these two women up. Unbelievable, the scenes